I hope you do.
Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam!
I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
Boom! What's up? It's Dominic D'Angelo. It's a Thursday night. It is trash night, but trash night. But somebody
the trash.
get the trash. But we're alive. It's
Probably still forget after.
it's one of a kind.
All that.
With who? RVD and KT.
Guess
Or
who?
should I say RV Dad?
Oh,
Rob Van Dad. Rob
Van Dad and Mama Van Dam.
Yeah, Mama. Oh, I like it, Mama. I was trying when the countdown was going. I was like, "What can I call Katie?" I'm trying to think. Mama Van Dam's best.
Mama Van Dam to me sounds like I should be like it reminds me like a mom, like a big like bear or something. Like a mama bear. Like I should be like wearing a muumuu with a
Curlers in your hair, curlers.
Yeah. Oh, you have a mustache.
Yes, I shaved up.
Yeah, it's a cop stash.
I got the cop stash.
Yeah.
But hey, we're live here. To everybody, say hi to. We'll say hi to some folks in chat. Maddie is here. We got Triple E here. Kyle Z, Ricky Jordan, Bandito fan, Kyle Z. So shout out to a whole bunch of folks. The boss is in town too. So
Everybody.
Hey y'all.
so many people, guys. I bet you got a lot of congratulations going on. How's the feedback been since you broke the news last week?
It's just amazing. It's so cool. Like Baby Van Dam's already so loved. And I just stay up all night reading the sweet messages and my heart is so full.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Been
I
so
know.
sweet. Yeah.
Apparently, it's a big deal.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Lots of people have been talking about it. That's been the big buzz this week.
Yeah.
It's been cool to see the reception and how happy people are for you guys too. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of. I mean, I hope my friends have a little patience with some of the returns because I've been getting phone calls and messages, starting with condolences and then turning to congratulations so quickly.
Oh yeah, right.
So many messages, yeah, and yeah. So appreciate it from everybody though.
I know it.
Yeah, and as much as people were talking about the baby news, I think maybe we're gonna do another round of chatter.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, y'all ready for this? So we had our ultrasound today and we're having twins. There's two of a kind up in here.
What?
And we got to hear their heartbeats, and they both have strong heartbeats.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a baby in there and a heartbeat, another baby. And here they're right next to each other. Two babies.
That's
Hello.
Mama, they're gonna be huge.
By like next week, I'm gonna be huge.
my gosh. When did you get the ultrasound? When did that happen? Today. It was today. You figured that out today?
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. It was the best day of my whole life.
Wow.
It topped me finding out I was pregnant today, seeing our daughters, and
Are they?
hearing their heartbeat.
Whoa.
Yeah,
So
so
are they girls?
I was already on cloud 9, and I'm just the happiest woman in the world.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Man, how about that? Twins.
Yeah,
A tag team happening, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
His sister named them the Van Daminators.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
That's their tag.
So they're both girls? You know what the gender is?
You caught it.
Yes, I messed up and said it, but yeah, they're girls.
You can't slide something like that by dirt sheet down.
No.
It's a RVD TV exclusive.
Fuck that. Well, this is awesome. Holy smokes. Good news.
Yeah. The Van Terminators.
Oh, I love it. The Van Terminator. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you guys. Hey. That's big time news. Holy
Yeah.
Here comes the messages.
I know. You're gonna be blowing up.
I know.
So many people are wishing you congrats too. We got hey, Kenny Casanova wishes you congrats. We got Marco too. That's amazing. Double congrats. Why did I have a feeling about twins?
Oh, thank
Give him our Amazon baby list, baby.
You got to get that cooking too. Candido Faith is awesome. Malin says congrats. Lots of good stuff. Maddie's happy for you.
You're gonna be like, y'all are getting greedy now. We told y'all congrats last week.
Double congrats. Man, holy. I was gonna ask because I was gonna ask this week. I was like, are you guys gonna leave the gender? You gonna leave it up in the air and not know, or I was gonna wonder what you guys.
Well, I wanted to like give y'all an update every week, and now I just got so used to saying she instead of it. So
yeah,
that's why
yeah.
Oops, I got excited.
Oh well.
We'll think of something for next week.
Yeah, you guys can think of some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys will go. Sure. That's awesome. Holy smokes, man! How did we follow up with that? Right?
I know. He said we need to play the lottery and win the lottery so we can top that. And I really feel like I've already won the lottery.
I believe it, right?
Like my reality is bigger than my dreams right now.
Man, did it ever cross your mind about having twins, Katie? Like,
I don't know. It's been a long journey for us because at first I really wanted kids and I had to get him on board with it. So I didn't know, but I was like, I'm not going to be greedy. I'll take one and be happy.
Right.
Yeah. And now here you are with two. So I got 3 heartbeats.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Heck yeah. Wow. Man, yeah, a lot of people are sending it. I can hear the chat thing going off, and then the live chat here is going up too. So that's awesome. Man, what else was I gonna ask? Man, it threw me off. I'm so happy for you guys.
You.
I guess I don't know. We could talk wrestling news a little bit. But,
this weekend, if you don't know,
oh yeah,
Sabu's services will be on the 25th in Lansing, Michigan. Maybe you can put the address up there. If anyone's looking for it, I don't know it off my head, but then on the 25th, on the 21st, it's going to be in Lansing, Michigan, and then on the 25th in Philadelphia. So that's what we will be dealing with between now and next time that we all get together and have this little combo. So yeah, if anyone's looking for those addresses, there's posters and shit, but maybe you could put it up for them or something.
Here, let me get it up right now, guys. It's at the Copper Moon. This is the Lansing, Michigan one. It's June 21st at 3 p.m. Copper Moon, 1247 Center Street in Lansing, Michigan. So Copper Moon. I'm putting it in the chatter here. 1247 Copper Moon.
And is the one in Philly like at the arena?
Yes, I believe it's at the ECW arena, and that's 25th, June 25th, which I believe is Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So check that out for sure. So there's the address for the Lansing, Michigan one. It's on the.
Oh man, you're like a real producer.
Yeah, doing what I can.
Oh.
So be sure if you're able to, feel free to attend. It's free for fans to attend and everything like that. And like Rob just said too, there will be one in Philadelphia here coming up. Hopefully, I can try to make that one as well. I'm going to see what I can do with that. But either way, it'll be great to kind of share and celebrate, but also mourn and remember Sabu as well at the same time. So, yeah, should be some good stuff. What a turnout! I'm sure it's going to happen.
If you can't make it, then Sabu knows if you loved him because he said so on Dark Side of the Ring.
Absolutely, he's well aware. Everyone, he's well aware for sure. So he's definitely looking out for you guys too. That's for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm trying to think of some other good questions when it comes to just this announcement and everything. What was I gonna say? Yeah, how'd your parents and everything react, Katie and everything? I bet they're pretty happy and excited.
Yeah, they're so excited, and this is gonna be their 14th and 15th grandbaby.
Seriously?
Yeah. So I come from a big family. Like when you're asking, like if I knew this was gonna happen for me, it's like being an aunt really just gave me the best purpose. It made me like where I was like, this is where I'm at my happiest, being with nieces and nephews. So yeah, everybody in my family has like 5 kids each.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had no pressure on me because everyone else has a bunch of kids, but just after babysitting them, I was like, this is what I want to do every day.
Yeah. And you can get some good advice too, coming in input and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I'll watch 4 kids at a time by myself, and like even being little kids, I'll watch for like a week at a time by myself. So I told Rob, since he's not as used to being around kids, like I'm good enough for the both of us, so I can teach him. And true.
You know, too, Rob, I was thinking about that too, because I interact with kids. I have some nieces and stuff like that, but like to actually like have a kid and be responsible for one, I'm like, it kind of throws me off a little bit too to think about that stuff. And you know, it's like sometimes it's just baptism by fire. I'd imagine you just kind of learn as you go in a lot of ways, right?
Well, I mean, I'm sure we gotta do some reading and prepare, you know, and we've got to know some shit ahead of time for sure. And of course, she's way ahead of me on all that. I'm gonna have to cram on some do's and don'ts, and you know, it's a little bit scary, but you know, definitely we're ready. I'm ready for a change up from some of the monotony that I worked so hard for, but at the same time, I need something strong to give me a little nudge, you know, in certain ways. And so this is just perfect, and you know, in line with my pathway and with the universe. I remember like because we've been together like 9 years now, and I remember one time, like it might have been 5 years ago, I don't know, longer maybe. But I was just telling her because she I could tell like that she was so kid crazy, and it wasn't even like something. I don't know. It was like she was so strong for it that I was like, man, you know. I was telling her, you know, I don't, you know, really think about being a dad or whatever. And I could just tell by her reaction, like, wow, that's got to change, you know. Girls, this might change, and you know, and that's what made me start thinking about it. And I was like, fuck it, you know.
Yeah,
Makes my dreams come true.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
And it really adjusts perspective on a lot of things too. You know, when I can't speak from experience, but I know like what, you know, my younger brother, he has 2 daughters, and it completely like changed his whole outlook on things a little bit too in a lot of ways. And I think, you know, you guys together will be able to adapt and also just give your experience from life in general and put it into that, you know?
Right, for sure.
Kids, right?
Sure, yeah.
The babies will get RVDology every day.
Yeah, finally, I want to fucking listen to it.
Finally, somebody will get it, right?
Know the rights and know the amendments and things that are important to us.
Absolutely. Well, hey, our first super chat is a good one here. It's from Lady Nisa. $5. She says, "Will you please do a baby registry so we can get you baby?"
So sweet.
Yeah.
Really, really
do people don't do that publicly when their celebrities do that?
I think so, because people keep asking me to do it. I just feel like, I don't know, like even shopping, it just feels like, well, it feels more real now, like looking at our baby and hearing the heartbearts.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because before I was like, I don't know, I don't want to spend that much money like this early on, you know, because we have so much time. But I've already started collecting like like outfits. Like maybe we have like 5
People are giving
outfits.
us. She's
Yeah.
got gift cards and stuff.
Yeah, and we had
It's
some gift cards. I was like, oh, our baby
that's
has
like
a
family and shit.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. We got some things from family.
Is that
And-
like a free GoFundMe or something when you have a baby?
No,
And,
it's because like you need so much stuff when you have a baby, like you
Yeah.
wouldn't even think of.
uh,
So that's why people are like, I want to do a baby registry. I mean, that's why people ask for the baby registry. Because
Yeah.
like when we got married, it was like people kept asking, and it's like, well, we're grown adults. Like, what do we need? Like
Right.
candles?
Oh yeah,
like, I
that
don't
was
know.
weird. That was weird
Yeah.
for me. I'm always weird
But
at
if-
gifts. When people give me gifts, I always feel weird because it's either something I got to pretend that I really want,
But,
even though I didn't get it myself. Or
But if you put it on Amazon, then it's something that you did want. If you made an Amazon.
oh
thing,
right.
yeah.
No, but so my question, but that's for friends and family, like not like the fans or both. Or
I don't
people
know.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah, I've never done this before.
I never
but-
thought of it till right now, so I'm just asking.
yeah.
She usually has.
But
the
when we
answers.
got married, it was like we didn't need anything. We'd been living together. We're grown adults. But now it's like having a baby. Of course, it's like you need all kind of random shit.
I remember we said no gifts, and man, everyone believed us. Like, dude, we didn't really need no
We just said
gifts.
that. We just said that to keep up appearances. That's it.
Yeah, we didn't like no gifts.
Right. Come on. We want a little bit of gifts.
Well, that's not true. There's a few people that slid us a couple of gifts, and we remember them always.
Yeah, it's nice.
Down for life.
All right. All right.
Ooh, look at that hand. It looks like
He looks like
it
a
looks like
creepy
it comes out of
crawly.
nowhere too.
You ever see a Scary Movie 2? Hey, super strong hand.
No, well, I did watch Adam's Family.
Yeah,
with
that's
the
what I
thing.
thought of Adam's
Yeah.
family.
Oh, hit thing. It was it. No, thing.
Thing. Yeah,
Because cousin it was the fluffy guy. And then
yeah, I grew up on that shit.
I know, right?
And
I
the
would-
monsters. I loved the monsters.
Oh, I love the monsters too.
I always wanted to get a better look at that monster that lived under the staircase. They'd always tease it. You'd hear it growl and and they talk to it or throw food at it or whatever, but I don't know if they ever showed it.
No,
Mine
man.
was like a big dragon or something, but they always just teased the fuck out of the monster under the staircase.
They did. They never gave it away. I was a big mark for the Munsters, that's for sure. Yeah. Herman Munster. Oh, you can't beat it. Oh, yeah, Rob, I forgot to this is another announcement. Rob, we talked about this last week. But there's if you guys want to join, you can join RVD TV. We got a little membership thing going on where it gives you icons that you can use and get badges and stuff like that. I'm going to do some early clips that'll get posted online before I put it to YouTube for people. I'll do some neat shorts and stuff. But yeah, sign up rvdtv.com to get a membership. Kyle Z is our first ever member, so congrats to Kyle.
Hey,
Yay,
Let me
Kyle,
see
Kyle.
there's some thumb emojis like everyone.
Yeah, I got a thumbs here. I'll show you. Let me see. I did a screenshot of some of the emojis I made. So I have emojis that for Fonzie. I have one RVD that says smoke 'em. Hold on, I'll get them up here in a second. Let me see if I can.
I almost had a Twitch page one time just because I was talking to get the thumb emojis. Like someone
Yeah.
opened it up and never used it.
So here's some of the emojis, guys. This is some of the icons you can get. Some are hard to see a little bit because of the backgrounds, but got an old school RVD.
Well,
got
they don't look like emojis.
yeah,
It does.
They do,
oh yeah, because there'll be little icons that'll pop up underneath in the chat and stuff like
but are
that.
they in the square frame or are they?
They'll be transparent. Some of the ones that have a color background, so the blue Rob and the red Fonzie, those will have a solid background, but the rest are all transparent. Oh, and RVD Sabu won't have a background.
Okay, so when it's white, the white will like blend in.
Yes,
To the
the white
gray.
will blend in. Yeah, that'll all be transparent backgrounds.
I gotta see it. How can you not have the thumbs pointing at each other? Like that's
Yeah, we'll get that one for sure. We'll get that one for sure. I have the RVD thumbs up, but we'll get it.
right, but okay, yeah, it's a normal thumbs up with black tape. I see.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well, we'll make it happen.
You said also you're gonna post videos and they get them early.
Yeah, I'll post like little clips early. So anything I clip up from these episodes, I'll put them up first. A couple of them up first for the members, so they get a little preview of it beforehand. So, and I'll try to come up with some other fun stuff we can do for them behind the page too.
Maybe the chat room will have some ideas.
Yeah, if you guys have ideas of certain things you want or anything like that when it comes to a membership and what we can add to it a little bit to make it a little bit more exciting, let me know because I'm up for any ideas for sure.
We want to smoke at 420.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 420 for sure. Hey, we also got Maddie. He's a new member too. Maddie is there.
When someone's not in the room.
Yeah. He has to smoke in designated areas now because I can't be around like weeks. Yeah.
Because I was going to ask about that, Rob. Yeah, like because I know you weren't smoking yesterday or last week, and then at least on here, so you still just find the areas you can do it in and stuff. Is that how you?
Yeah, but way less now that she's not smoking with me. I'm smoking way less, and and not just by saying not as often, but also just if you have somebody that you're smoking with, if you smoke joints, they keep it lit. You know what I mean? And if you don't, and you smoke it by yourself, at least if you're me and you're smoking king size, it goes out so many times. It takes me like an hour, sometimes an hour, 20 minutes. And I'm like, dude, I'm on the same fucking joint and I'm still smoking it. And it goes out and I'm watching YouTube. And so anyway, because of that, you know, sometimes I reach the end of the day, I'm like, dude, 4 doobies? Like, but also, yeah, we're, you know, prioritizing. So like I said, I'm ready for a change up and doing the man cave thing. We'll probably be filming from there, so you
might get a new studio out of it.
Yeah,
that. All right.
I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be awesome too, and it's going to be a writing studio.
Ooh.
Yep. So I can separate myself to get some stuff done, and you know, maybe double multitask at the same time by smoking while I'm working.
Smoking and working
and missing the fam. So that's looking forward to it. And we're always utilizing the house more, making it more ours, and developing out like different areas are adding to it in and outside. So I'm pretty stoked about that. But that's I don't want to take a chance and have any smoke in any 3 of their lungs.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Any 3, right?
Y'all look at this photo of Rob. He's so funny when he smiles like this.
Yeah.
I was like, let's take another photo for our new announcement. And then I just posted that, and his smile is so
God. Rob, I'm going to use that as your contact photo for when we text. That's going to be your contact photo for me. It's just that picture.
So funny.
That's good stuff. Hey, Lady Nisa signed up. She's a member too. Shout out. Thank you, Lady Nisa, for joining.
By the way, not that I think there's any proven studies that secondhand marijuana smoke contains enough of anything in it to even get in someone else's system, but with the baby, you know, and we talked about that before with it being in the mom's system, and in Pennsylvania they were gonna hold the baby and take the baby and all that shit. But regardless, you know, you know, why even do that?
Yeah, it's just in the doctor's orders, don't be around smoke. But they're talking about cigarettes because that has like the chemicals in it. But I'm just staying away from all smoke. To be careful.
Looking forward to breaking up the monotony.
Oh yes. Little change of pace is all. Kyle Whitaker also signed up too. So shout out.
Yay!
Getting a lot of members already.
Awesome.
We're jamming. Give him a video right now.
Yeah, I know. I'll gotta think of something to do for him here. I'll definitely come up with something. So, hey, this is just a thought. I just thought this is funny. I saw. I think something was picked up from our. I don't think it was our actual post. I think one of the
websites picked it up off our post and said it was talking about me talking about the riots and the peaceful protests.
Oh, LA, yeah, the LA stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it says something about, is Rob Van Dam right? He talks about the peaceful protesting or something, you know. And I was just reading through it, seeing, you know, what whoever picked up whatever, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And then I was like, let me see if there's any comments. And there's one comment that somebody took the time to write, and they said, I think Rob Van Dam needs to shut up.
Oh.
I don't think he's that good of a wrestler anyway. I just thought that was funny and thought I'd share it. I got nothing to say on it or that, dude. It made me laugh. So,
dude, some people would like trash, yeah, whoever. It's like they'll make comments about me, and I just think it's hilarious. Some of it's really fucking funny. There's one thing I did where it was like AJ Styles. They had something about AJ Styles wearing it. They said he wears wireless headsets when he plays video games because he thinks the brainwaves will mess him up or something. And it was a fake thing. It was not real at all. And like AJ took it seriously because he thought it was a legitimate website, and he like refuted it and said, put it on. So I wrote a community notes about it, and I was like, yeah, this is not true or whatever. And I sent it to X, and everybody just called me a fucking loser and a buzzkill because I did it. And I was like, I appreciate being called a buzzkill.
Yeah. Did you know that AJ doesn't swear?
Really?
Yeah, unless that changed, but that was one of his values when I was working with him in TNA, like 2012. He did, yeah. He was it after that? No, it was back then. He right? Yeah. He that was something that and you know, to each their own, but he didn't swear. And, you know, he had a son that would be there sometimes or whatever, and he'd be playing video games with him or whatever. And a lot of people like that around their kids, but it just stuck out on my mind. I mean, I think that Elijah guitar dude, I think.
Oh, Elias? Yep.
Elias, I'm pretty sure he said the same thing too, that he feels like Jesus gets mad at him when he swears or something like that.
Santana Garrett was like that too. She said from what I remember, she said she's never said a cuss word.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
I give up swearing for Lent, but it's too hard. I swear way too much. Way too fucking much.
I don't mind it myself, you know, so I don't put any effort into choosing other words. Like, those are more colorful words. I want to use those words.
Yeah, right. Livens things up. How was it working with AJ Styles? I don't know if I ever asked you about working with AJ.
It was good. You know, I mean, obviously the kid's phenomenal.
Yep.
I feel like he probably wishes that I would have wanted to go 60 minutes every night instead of doing more like the bare minimum, you know, but he got me at a different stage in my career where, you know, you say, you know, go 10 to 12 minutes. All right, 9 minutes. Gotcha. You know, that was just, that's just, you know, that, like I say, just got me a different part of my career. But I loved working with him in the matches, and, you know, but I could tell he was a lot more excited than I was. And sometimes he'd come up, you know, and be like, boom, you want to switch everything up, you know, and, you know, switch everything up tonight and, you know, boom, do something different. And I'd be like, why? We got everything down. Like, just everything last night was awesome, you know.
Yeah, he's always great to watch. I like it. It's so remarkable, too, because he was a guy earlier on when Vince was running WWE and stuff like that. You would have thought he might not have been a guy Vince would have not liked or used as much, but because he had the Southern accent, he was a smaller guy. But
right. Now he's stacked. Now he's the biggest dude there. Yeah. But yeah, and the standards came down, you know, everything, the average standard, you know, for what wrestlers are. So that also helped. But yeah, for me, basically, it's easy to just say wrestlers who hadn't been to the WWE yet we're like him, you know, like boom, fuck yeah, let's go out there, steal the show, boom. And then wrestlers who had been in WWE, that had the experience of stretching less out to make it mean more and getting, you know, all that instead of doing everything in 30 seconds, make it, you know, just it's everything. Every wrestler will hear this if they hadn't been in WWE, and then they go there and then they say, no, slow down, slow down. But then eventually it makes sense to you. And so then that's a big contrast in theologies when a younger guy that hasn't been there is, you know, putting something together with a conversation with someone who has been there. That's definitely going to be a difference every time. You know, it's like, whoa, slow down. You're blowing me up back here talking about this. Like, I can't keep up with you talking about it. The fans sure as hell can't keep up with it. What are you doing?
Right. Now, do you think, too, the way WWE handles that style, the WWE style, is that the best wrestling style overall, or do you think that's a subjective kind of notion?
I think the best style is being well-versed in everything, you know. I think the best is if you spend a lot of time in Japan, you know, back in I don't know how much it's changed the style, but, you know, back when it was like you know, like it was in the 90s, All Japan and New Japan. And I think, you know, if you went to Otto Wands in Germany and you went to Puerto Rico and you went to, you know, you were in WWE and you were in WCW, and I think that's what makes the best style is when someone's style is so well-rounded and put together, because a lot of stuff that gets over in one area wouldn't be compatible universally because it just takes too much what's the right word? Not coercion. It takes too much community effort, or let's say, and sometimes in certain styles that wouldn't even be considered.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's actually a veteran perspective, I would say too. Like, somebody knows what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Is there somebody that stands out to you that is like a well-rounded wrestler overall that maybe doesn't get the credit they deserve or anything like that? That is so like kind of to what you're saying. Is there a name?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the experience and the resumes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely some of the same people that we talk about every week when we mention. Definitely some of them are more than just one dimensional, and that's great. That you can, without knowing anything about them, you can just see that and pick it up. You know, like we always talk about Rachel Becker and then Kaylani Jordan, but there's some of them have where you're drawn into like their pull, and a lot of it is the confidence in their body movement, whether it's something sassy or whether it's something that's arrogant or whether it's something cool or whatever. Like there's you can pick up and see when someone has more than just the dimension of having like just one style that they were taught without adding any personality or feel to it. But you can't tell just by looking where all they've been. You know, you can't look at someone and say, you know, I bet he did like 4 years in England, you know, probably under William Regal.
Yeah.
You know.
No, that makes sense too.
But I think I told you this though. When I wrestled Chris Benoit at that pay-per-view, whatever it was, I don't know. I think it was in St. Louis, but he was saying before the match, I want you to just kick me as hard as you can. And I was like, bro, like, really? And he was saying, yeah. He goes, hard as you can, man. I said, you sure? Like, isn't the idea like to not actually injure each other when we're out there? And he goes, no, fuck that. You and I have an understanding. We both wrestle in Japan. That's an example of, you know, like where having more well-rounded style and experience, it actually comes into play as qualification for your work that night, the job that you're going to do. You know, if you compare it to another job with a resume and qualification, you know what I mean? Like, because we both worked in Japan, we were, in his mind, we had an understanding to beat the shit out of each other. So
Right.
yeah, so a lot of people that watched that match noticed that it was snug, and he loved it that way, and I guess I did too.
Yeah. Right. That. I mean, when you're getting kicks from Kawada and stuff like that, you definitely.
When I was young, but yeah, that's the thing, is he taught me to step it up and give it back to him, and so it was really good for me. And when my ego was hurt, or my feelings were hurt at first, because I was really young, getting the shit kicked out of me, and me feeding, because I'm trying to find the balance of working out there and you know, getting along with everybody. And then during that time, I might not have liked it as much, but I needed to not like it, and you know, wait till I show him. Like, I needed that to add to my style, so that I had some fire, some oomph, some credibility, some fucking, and you know, show that I actually can kick. And you know, I was kind of trying to hold it back at first at that point, because I'd only been working 2-3 years when I started going to Japan, and in that time I'd kicked the shit out of so many people, you know, Sabu so many times himself, you know, in his jaw. And so I was always, you know, trying to acquiesce to the requests of, bro, lighten up, bro. And then when I went over there with that shit to Japan, then they were like, nah, fuck that shit, dude. You're not gonna disrespect us like that. If you're gonna throw a kick, throw a fucking kick. You know?
Right. Lay it in, baby. Lay it in.
Yeah.
That had to help with confidence too, though, in the grand scheme of it all. Once you were able to, you're like, geez, if I can take those kind of shots, I can handle a lot of other elements of pro wrestling when it comes to.
Yeah, well, that was something for me. Always was my durability. You know,
Yeah.
I was always able, like, you know, everyone loves the footage of, you know, Kawada threw me into the ropes, then gave me the spin kick, and boom, and it was like, oh my God, Kawada kicked the shit out of him. But you know, I mean, that was me, my bump, me selling it, and that was always something that I was good at. But
yeah,
once I made up my mind, like, when I get Kawada and I are in the ring tonight at the same time, I'm gonna fucking kick him so fucking hard, because I felt like I owed him, you know.
right.
Yeah, because he crossed the line and gave me a football kick one time, and then after that, you know, once I got Kawada to say, "Oh, take it easy," then I reached a whole new level.
Then you made it. You leveled up.
Yeah, then I was on their level.
All right, we got some super chats in here.
And Michelle Donnelly.
Oh,
Coming back to Chicago already.
Really?
By the way, yeah, July 2nd, but I think it's a baseball game or something. So
Really?
I'll get the details before then.
Oh yeah, fill us in for sure. July 2nd. That's awesome. Ricky Jordan asked, "Tell us some of your best Sabu Winnebago stories. It sounds like you guys had a good time on the road." Thanks for coming.
That does sound fun. The Winnebago era.
All right.
Yeah. Sabu, you know, we talk about how generous he was. He was making so much more money than everybody else too at this time, which was very chic-esque, which was cool. But when we were in ECW, he didn't like to fly ever. Mm-hmm. Still, you know, like he did it, but he didn't like it. And that's one of those things. He'd get nervous before a flight, get down and do his nervous prayer, just like before his matches, every time when he flies, you know. And he was always nervous about it. So instead of ECW buying his flights, he would take that money and then use that to drive there. And so he got the Winnebago, was able to make the payments or however he finagled it with the expenses. And so he would drive there. I would fly because I wasn't in Michigan at the time. I'm in California, Orlando for part of it, Florida. And I would go to Philly and then get with Sabu for the house shows for the Loop. And man, I remember one time, like this was like when cell phones first came out, they were so expensive. They were like, I think, I think I remember Rey Mysterio. We were in Europe one time, and he was being really cool. Hey, anybody want to use, Rob? You want to call home on my phone? Because we didn't have the phones yet. We didn't have the international plan or whatever. It was all super new. It was like $1 a minute.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was handing it around on the bus, Rey Mysterio.
Ray is very generous too.
Yeah, he is too. And I remember like, really? Thanks, and like, hey, so cool. And I remember with, this is what he told me was there, and me and Pee Wee, the referee, I think Louis, but we're all riding in the Winnebago at this time anyway, but he had the cell phone, and then he had internet, which back then even that was like we didn't know how to use it and stuff that much. You know what I mean? But, and what were we doing on it? I don't know what we were doing online.
Looking at boobs.
Yeah, maybe. But while he would drive, he would have the computer on and have it hooked up to the cell phone for the Wi-Fi. And the Wi-Fi would be, so it would be just like raking up, like it was so expensive to be on that thing just for 20 minutes. I can't remember how all it was charged, but he was always like, hey, whatever it is, just, throw money at it if you can. He was like that with weed too. Like, hey, whatever it is, it's better to have the weed than the money. You know what I mean?
And you have that in you too.
Yeah, I got that from him though, and it's a good way to live. Doing it, I'd be like, hey, Sabu, this dude's got some weed that he wants to sell, but do we need any? Or we got enough? Oh, just get it. It's the better that we have it, and that's how he always felt about anything that we would buy, or whatever. Just buy it,
with the Winnebago?
And on the Winnebago, we were playing the Super Fighter Pro Wrestling, and that had a lot of us, most of us, a bunch of us anyway. I remember sitting on the couch with Bam Bam Bigelow one time, and we were playing the game, he was Bam Bam and I was RVD on the game, and we were playing against each other. Oh man, if we only had the videos of that,
I know, right?
That'd be so killer. Yeah, Bam Bam gave me probably my least favorite pill, and that was back then when I was stupid. We call them the experimental days. And I remember Bam Bam gave me a Thorazine, and if you don't know what a Thorazine is, they give it to like crazy people and like mental institutions that are freaking out as like a tranquilizer to like bring them down. And I just remember doing the Winnebago crawl, which is like walking with your hands on the wall. And we were on our way somewhere, and I was just so tired, having such a hard time leaning against the wall, walking, trying to go to the bathroom or whatever. And man, I think I slept for like a whole fucking day. It must have been a day off or something. And I just remember thinking like, I never want to fucking Thorazine again. Fuck that.
I don't
way too strong for me.
Too powerful. Ugh.
I slept all night, all the next day, and I think it was a day off too. That I slept through in that Winnebago. He parks sometimes, like in parking lots, anywhere in a grocery store or whatever, in between towns, and pull out some folding chairs, and we'd sit there and get some sun. He had some dumbbells and shit. We'd do some of these arm things.
Yeah. Do the things.
Yeah. Sitting there getting sun and enjoying. If we had a little extra time, that was the shit. Pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Luxury.
Man, the Winnebago experience sounds like a great experience, though. Like a very fun, cute experience to have.
Yeah.
Here's a question that's newsworthy to you. Maddie chimes in. He says, Goldberg, where's RVD's title shot? Smoke him. What do you think about? Did you get to see Goldberg show up on Raw? Did you happen to see him confront?
Oh yeah,
Gunther? Yeah.
Goldberg on Raw.
Goldberg showed up, and he's going to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event coming up in Atlanta.
So
I haven't caught a Saturday night's main event yet.
They're fun.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, last one I saw was when Jake the Snake DDT'd Ricky Steamboat on the cement outside the on the floor. It was brutal.
Brutalness.
So yeah, I would like to catch one. I forget. But those are those PLEs or no? They're not PLEs.
No, they're on NBC. They're on NBC. So
can they take the place of Saturday Night Live just like they used to?
Yeah, but basically, I think they start earlier though, so that it goes on to like I think it starts at like 7. So I guess it technically doesn't take a place, but it is on obviously Saturday night on NBC. So, but the interesting thing I kind of wanted to obviously to get your perspective on this, Goldberg getting some criticism online because of how he walked out, how he looked, or not how he looked, but like the age that he's at and certain things like that. And Goldberg kind of had a response. So I kind of want
to dare him be the age that he's at.
I know, exactly. So I think Goldberg gave a great response. So he says, everybody's saying, oh, Goldberg's limp into the ring. Goldberg's small. Goldberg's old. He's like, I am freaking old. What do you want me to do? Turn the clock back? Show me another 58-year-old dude that's willing to go out and do this. Goldberg said in an interview, I mean, there's a couple, but I'm going to hopefully surpass their performance. At the end of the day, I got to surpass my performance in the past. And it made me think about like how, you know, people have that impression of certain people of a certain age, but Goldberg looks like Goldberg. Goldberg has that presence and that aura. And like, you know, you see Sting had a successful run in his 50s and stuff like that. You're in your 50s and you're still going and kicking ass. It's just, yeah, I thought I wanted to get your perspective on what Goldberg's kind of going through at the moment.
Yeah, it sounds like he's like I think he said it well.
Yeah.
You know? People, it's subjective. It really is. You know, like there should be just a line. You know, okay, if you're whatever, I don't know, 50 and under. No, if you're under 50, then you're whatever not old is, almost old. 50 and over, you're old. And then it'd be like, doesn't matter if you're Billy Gunn and you can beat the shit out of someone. It's like, okay, I'm old, you know, because that's how I see it. It's weird that it's subjective because people look at me just, you know, like, you know, it's you're only as old as you feel. And I just like, is that a question? You know what? Like, you know, when it's a weird subject. I think people act weird around it, the way they dance around it. Because it's like, yeah, I mean, if you're in your 20s, then you probably consider me old. It's weird to me that that they think like they're one up, like I'm sub-choice because of my age. I would never want to be 23 instead of or 24 instead of 54. You know what I mean? I would never trade back. And maybe I'm rare in that, you know, a lot of people probably would, but because of that, it's just funny if people try to use that insulting, you know, and be like, dude, man, come on. He's like, look how old he is or whatever. It's like, do you have a question? I'm 54 straight up, matter of fact. So, you know.
People are ageist.
Oh, they are, definitely.
But they are on themselves too, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
right.
They yeah. And you know, if I would have had kids when I was 20 and I could be a grandpa when I'm 40, I'm pretty sure I would feel old as fuck by now, you know, having adult grandkids and shit. And that's the way a lot of people do it.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's the thing too. But I know that it's an aspect of like age comes into play, and like people are just really, really tend to be critical. And wrestling is such a visual business too. But when I saw Goldberg walk out on Raw, I was like, he looks like Goldberg. He has the presence of Goldberg.
Yeah, that's the probability, not having seen it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that's how they were twice with me, 2 different times, and it was both like they're so stupid.
Yeah.
Like one time was my AEW debut when I came out to do a spin kick to Jack Perry.
Yeah.
And next week I miraculously came in great shape. And I even saw a couple people online saying, "Man, he must have worked really hard that week because he did not look that good the week before." It's like, because you don't like the way I walk. By the way, not that much different than a cop trying to use things against you and saying, "Oh, look at the way he look at the way he walks. He walks like he's off balance. His eyes are glossy. Oop, there's a beer can on the ground in his vicinity." That's their job, is just to try to find things they can use against you to score enough points to have probable cause. And I really don't think a lot of them care if they're right or not. They think they're doing their job if they found 3 or 4 things, regardless of if you've had a drop to drink or not. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Even if you haven't been at all, if they get you for DUI, some of them think they did a good job. That's how stupid their agenda is.
Yeah, absolutely. They got the priorities and their own agenda going on with that stuff.
Yeah.
From a storyline standpoint, could you envision something compelling of Goldberg winning the championship, becoming a world champ again?
I don't know. I mean, he's one of the biggest stars that I know of, and I don't know how he's feeling. Like, I'm definitely not scared of those numbers. I love using Billy Gunn as an example because he's so jacked and he's I love, usually when I mention that, it gets through to people,
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, you're right. I forget, but I mean, Booker T's up there, and
Al Snow's jacked too.
Al Snow's jacked, super jacked.
Yeah.
But not just about being jacked, but in great, athletic shape in the ring. And so you got to use specific examples. Otherwise, people just go by basic thinking standards, which haven't been updated. So their standards are, it's like when I grew up hearing 50-year-old man sounded like an old man.
Yeah.
The picture would be like,
come here, Sonny.
Yeah, the old I don't know why I'm picturing the perverted old guy on Family Guy.
You got hot popsicles?
That guy. Kid, like if I thought 50-year-old man, like that's what I would think.
Right.
But now I'm just like, I'm good.
Right.
So, what else was I going to say about that? Oh, also when I was a kid, like if you were a millionaire, that meant you were set for life.
Right.
Now it buys you like a mid-sized house in California.
If you're lucky, right?
Some people, that could be their month's bills.
Yeah, it's all perspective, subjective.
Yeah, like if I won $1 million, I was like, I wouldn't be thinking, well, I'm set for life now. I'd be like, how do I make more of this? Or, how do I build this up more now?
Yeah, you know what? Earlier I was watching videos on Sabu, and Disco Inferno was talking about him, and Conan, a little clip. And one thing Disco said that the average age to die is 83. I think that's way over. Like, can you look that up? I meant to do that today, but I think it's like 76 for men. Like, I don't know where it got 83 from, but that was one thing that stuck out.
So in the United States, this is according to AI, so take it for what you will.
Okay.
In the United States, the average age of death for men is currently around 75.8 years. That's in the United States.
So Disco was talking about Sabu dying at 60, even though he was really 61, and saying, he wasn't going to live till like 83, which is the average age for Americans. And I was like, I almost wanted to call in. And but also he kept saying like that without knowing even the cause of death. He's like, no, for Sabu for sure died of his whole career of him doing what he did. You know, it wasn't that he bumped his head one time. Like he the way that he went hard, you know, he was always gonna live not as long. You know, he was always gonna die younger. The fact that he made it to 61 is amazing, and he definitely died from you know, a series of things. And I want to say, how can you say that? I mean, what if he choked on a fucking pickle?
Yeah, right.
We don't know. Yeah, it's just it's crazy. But anyway, yeah, talking about the ageism and shit made me think about that. Where the fuck did he get 83 at?
Yeah, no, because even it says here that women that could expect to live 80.2 years.
82?
Yeah, 80.8.2. 80, so about 80 years old is for women.
I think I've seen 78 on other studies, but yeah,
Wow.
women get to live longer.
And your
Yeah.
mom,
God bless them. Yeah.
and his mom is so healthy. Like her blood work and everything is great.
That's
She's
awesome.
85. Yeah.
I bet she's pretty pumped about the twins.
Yes, it was so fun. I kept saying today, like, I can't wait to call your mom. And then when we called her, she was so happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But also, like Disco was saying, you know, that guys like Sabu, that wrestle like his style, you know, that put their body through like so much and stuff. Like they're, you know, they're not, they're gonna have a short life. And also, I wanted to be there, like in the studio, and just raise my hand and say, "Am I a wrestler that wrestles like Sabu?" Or I mean, who does? When you say people that wrestle like Sabu, like, what does that mean? I mean, do you mean wrapping yourself in barbed wire that could get you infected and bleeding with each other and stuff like that? Because I don't do that.
No.
But in some ways, I could see where it would be probably reasonable to say that I wrestled in a Sabu kind of way, kind of style in my own way. So I wondered, like, does that mean also the same thing or what? But anyway, he's not in the room to defend himself. It just stuck out in my mind because I watched it earlier, a little clip, and I had like 3 or 4 different comments on it, all for him.
And you could also make the argument too, like you could say, didn't Sabu kind of wrestle like Terry Funk? Like Terry Funk did some crazy stuff and did all the, you know, kind of at a later age too. When Terry Funk lived to be 78, I think it was.
Oh, wow. How old's Dory?
Dory, I think, is 80.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Dory's 80. I'm going to take a quick look here. Quick little Google. 84.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
Holy cats.
Same as my mom?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. I guess I must have known that and forgot they were the same age. Huh.
That's wild. So wait, Terry Funk then when he passed. Let me take a look at Terry. Terry was 79. So there we go.
Good genetics.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Good genetics.
I didn't know it was made it. Cool. But anyway, yeah. That was some questions that I had. What do you want to talk about, baby?
Someone said something over here that struck my interest.
We got so much stuff to do.
Someone asked why we left TNA in 2020. Our story, well, we were grouped up with
Dick Boy.
yeah, with Joey Ryan. Yeah. We were in a group with him, and it was actually called Cancel Culture, and then he literally got canceled.
Yeah.
So a lot of things we filmed wasn't even aired because then they canceled him. So it was a waste for them to pay Rob what they were paying him when like they weren't using him really. And then so yeah, we left in 2020, but right after like we left TNA, he signed his Legends deal with WWE, and then he got inducted into the Hall of Fame right after.
Yeah.
So we never during that whole run never had a contract. It was always just a per show, and I never thought they were getting their money's worth out of what they were doing with me. I always thought every show that was going to be my last show, you know, and I would say goodbye to Scott D'Amore every week, you know, and I would expect that was going to be it, you know. I'd be like, hey, you know, because, you know, TNA never seemed to draw. It was always like,
and this was the pandemic. We were wrestling in front of nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But even like during that run, like when they did the TV, like in the place in New York, where they had the bar and all that shit, like I can't see how they had 700 people in there, but I think that's what they claimed. But it never more than that. And anyway, when I was with TNA the first time too, there was always like 900 people. Back when it was Dixie Carter running it in 2010 through 12 for me. But anyway, this last time I didn't have a contract. The first time I did, so I would say at the end, "All right, thanks, Scott," and he'd say, "All right, well, I'll see you in October." And I'd be like, oh, "Okay," just like, "All right, you pay me, I'll show up, I'll be there." But yeah, eventually they were like, they didn't have anything for us, so we just. Were not booked to come in on one of those trips.
Yeah, Ruth's fun. That was your slutty era.
Ruth's fun.
No, I said that was fun. It was Rob's slutty era.
When I had makeup all over my face. We got kicked off of Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fans were pissed at me and Katie and Jennifer.
Yeah.
Not mostly me. But.
Lady Lisa added that you can smoke right after birth if you use a formula.
Hey, I'm already eating baby formula.
Hey,
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I'll be joining you again next year. I said, I'll be joining you next year. And then it would take like one hit and I'll be so high because
right.
Yeah.
Your tolerance will be gone.
We'll partake. Who knows what we'll be like as parents?
Right? Yeah, you don't know. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna reinvent myself.
That's it.
Right.
Rob, you're gonna start wearing glasses all the time.
I'll be a lawyer. I've been told I missed my calling as a lawyer.
That's it, right?
My evil ex used to say every time we'd argue, I'd be, why? Because you don't like facts? I present facts. So
You're against facts? Is that it?
It was.
Seth says Stephanie Vacour has that serious aura like Chris Benoit. The mood changes when she makes her entrance very rare, and he also likes her rear end, he says too. So
yeah,
she looks awesome.
Yeah, she's hot and she's a great wrestler.
Yeah, she's great. She's got a great presence about her.
Yeah.
Ryan Butler says, give thanks for the $5. He says, congrats on the baby news, Rob and Katie. Is Benny the Jet Uriquez a kickboxing role model of RVD? 200-0 record, 72 years old, and still trains. Wow, Benny the Jet.
Yes, So Benny the Jet Urquides is definitely a role model of mine. He refereed so many of the martial arts movies that I used to watch, the action movies, wrestling, and kickboxing movies. It was always, the referee was either Benny the Jet or it was Judo Gene LaBelle from LA, almost always. I talked to him through social media like maybe 2 years ago. I can't remember exactly what it was about though. I think that the middleman is Damon Feldman, the guy that does celebrity boxing.
Oh, okay.
He's always reaching out to me, trying to figure out, if there's something we can do together. I'd love to work with him somehow, but so far, it hasn't been something to move on or jump at. And I think maybe he might have put me in touch with Benny the Jet, but either way, he was super cool, and definitely I still follow him on social media from that intro, so I'm still keeping up with the stuff he does, and he's still a role model.
I love that. Yeah, man, that's impressive. 200-0 record, and he's 72, still trains. That's awesome.
He's awesome.
Hell yeah. Maddie adds, Rene Dupree looks like a fun stoner. What about Bob Holly?
I can't picture Bob Holly smoking.
No, I couldn't either, right?
Yes, he is.
The only way I can picture Bob Holly smoking is if he's like super pissed and he's got smoke coming out of his ears and he's staring somebody down.
That's the only way.
Yeah,
Uh,
not really his cup
Literally
of tea.
smoking.
Yeah.
yeah, literally smoking. Literally, that's it.
Yeah.
Venus, Seth says $20. He says, just saw about twins. Are we gonna see custom airbrush Joe Holland baby onesies?
Yes. I
like
thought of that too. I was like, they need to come home from the hospital with something swaggy, like some airbrush.
From the hospital.
Airbrush onesies. Yeah.
Ricky Jordan here with another super chat. He says, can we get some RVDology on knowing when to walk away from things when you know that things are no longer fit for your life?
Oof. Well, it sounds like you're past questioning it. If you already know,
Yeah.
then it's like going the wrong way down a highway, and you know that you're going the wrong way, and it's like the longer you keep going, and you know that you got to turn around, it's just more and more and more negative. I used to in Tampa, I would a lot of times miss the exit to the wrestling school on Howard in Armenia, and I would end up on the Campbell Causeway, which was a bridge that went from Tampa to Clearwater or St. Pete. There's like 3 bridges there. Whatever. Anyway, once you get on that, like, you're just fucked. You got to go for so many minutes so you can turn around. And I used to hate that because I just know, like, dude, all of my efforts, like everything I'm doing right now is negative, giving me negative time, building up a bigger hole that I got to climb out of, and I got to turn around and start on the positive. It'll take some time to get out of the hole, to fill it back in, to rebuild, but then we can move forward, and can't move forward as long as we're going the wrong way. You have to look at it like that. And it's not easy. Like, I knew when I was with my evil ex and our relationship was the shits, I hated that I was gone on the road all the time. It seems like it would be good because you get away from it, but I also felt like the longer I'm away from being able to fix whatever it is, and I didn't even know how to fix it, but I just knew that while I wasn't working on fixing it, that I was like building a bigger hole. It was negative, wrong way, putting energy out that I wasn't going to get back. And also, I'm like, when I knew we were going to get divorced, it's like, here, the longer this drags on, all I'm doing is working my balls off to make money that she's going to take anyway. Like, what the fuck? What kind of motivation is there for me to go out there now and work my ass off when, but once I can, boom, get that cut off, go through the pain. It's going to suck going through all the work, whatever it's going to take to get out of this position, and then boom, be facing the right direction, going the way I want to go. Then the positive steps start. So you got to look at it that way, and you got to do what it takes to get you there, even though it's not easy, and especially when there's other people involved. But hey, no matter where you go, there you are, and that's only true with you.
That's true. Katie, do you have any perspective too?
Yeah, actually.
Ideology.
I was just thinking, like, it's like lying to yourself if you know something isn't for you, but you keep doing it. And then when you lie, it's like it hurts 1,000 times. But when you tell the truth, it only hurts that one time. So it's like if you stick it with something that's not for you, every single day you're lying to yourself. Instead of, like, if you just end it, then it just hurts to end it, but you don't have to drag on the pain.
That's another great perspective. Holy smoke, Katieology. There we go.
Yeah.
I would say if you needed to do something physical too or tangible, a pros and cons list can always help too. If you write it out,
Yeah, that is so great.
And the cons are, and then that can help you kind of weigh out the decision. Hey, maybe it is time for you to walk.
And seeing it and getting it out of your head and seeing it, but writing it down is like, what was I thinking? Of course, this is choose.
Just remember, the rest of your life starts now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. We got a couple more super chats. I almost want to save a couple because we could dive a little deep. Maybe Maddie, I'm gonna save yours because I know you tune in all the time, Nick. So we'll save yours. We'll go a deep dive into this one.
Maddie.
Motivational does ask this. Hey Rob, thoughts on working with Brian Pillman for a short time in ECW? What was he like to work with?
It was very short for me. I had a lot of respect for him. He was a big star, top babyface when I was a fan trying to break in, wanting to wrestle. I remember seeing him at the Kellogg Center. It was the first non-WWE show that I'd been to, and he wrestled, I think, Flair. It might have been Sting, but I think it was Ric Flair. And I just liked the name. Flying Brian was cool, and back then, just doing a crossbody off the top rope was high flying. Not like the double, triple flips now. The triple Indy flip from Rodney Dangerfield back to school. What? But I also worked with him for a minute in WCW before that. Actually was in the ring and wrestled him. And when he was in Hollywood Blondes, Pillman and Steve Austin and me, and I think Brad Armstrong, could have been Eric Watts. One of those two dudes wrestled on a TV against that tag team one time, but that was back in '93. And when he was in ECW, I thought, I cared a lot more about the company, ECW, and I thought that's really cool. Like, he's great heat to bring in to ECW right now, and perfect because here's a loose cannon. And I just thought, wow, this is really good for us, and he could be ECW. He embodies it. I remember thinking that, and he got in that accident. He was fucked up, So I pushed him out in a wheelchair out to the ring, and he cut a promo and got heat with New Jack. So when I pushed him back to the dressing room, New Jack wanted to fight him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, well, it seemed fucked up because his shins, I think, were screwed into the wheelchair, if I remember right.
Damn well he can't fight.
That's what I was thinking at the time. But I think what it was, I think that Pillman said the N-word in his promo.
Oh.
And, black people tend to not like that. It tends to fire him up. But it was I didn't notice at the time, but the way that I understand the story now, that he said NWA, N-words with attitudes, which was a band at the time, Eazy-E, NWA, that he used that reference somehow in his promo. Is what I understand, and New Jack was hot about it.
Yeah.
Let me at him, and I remember Pillman was just kind of waiting, to see, am I gonna have to duck? Am I gonna have to block?
Damn.
He was just
felt so vulnerable in a chair.
Yeah.
Old folks.
That was
just a bad situation all around.
Situation, right? Jeez, oh man. Yeah, Brian, as the Hollywood Blondes in his WCW days was really, really cool, and I liked him in the Hart Foundation and WAF and stuff. Yeah. So, but he kind of helped set more of that attitude era too in a lot of ways, and kind of made it was the bridge to all that mainstream stuff when it came to it too.
Yeah, he did. What I remember about my match in WCW with the Hollywood Blondes was something happened where I caught one of his hands or something, and my lip was bleeding. And I remember that I liked that, and it got reported in the sheets and Meltzer's sheet. Van Dam bled from the lip. And I remember, even though I was Robbie V, they called me Van Dam. That stuck out in my mind. I'm established. And
you liked it? That makes you sound like a masochist.
Yeah, well, because I was taught that that's good for the business. So I remember thinking man, that's cool that even on WCW, I got to, be hardcore and have a bloody mouth.
Yeah, keeping that legitimacy going. Keep that legitimacy. Jim the Don chimes in. He's like, "What's up? Going late to the show, twins? Blessed." So,
yeah, so blessed.
How about that? No doubt.
Dreams are coming true.
Absolutely. Well, cool, Maddie. Like I said, I'm going to save your other question for next week, and we'll get to a lot of those other stuff. But appreciate everybody in the chat chiming in some good feedback. Man, what an announcement to make! So happy.
Hey, yeah, we have to win the lottery to overdo it. Like, how do we top that?
How do you top that next? Huh?
Best.
Yep. But anything else, you guys? This weekend, guys, like Rob said too, is going to be the Sabu Memorial in Lansing, Michigan, June 21st at the Copper Moon. That is 1247 Center Street, Lansing, Michigan. So
the 25th is Philly.
And June 25th is Philly at the ECW Arena, I believe. So if you're able to make either of those, it's open to the fans. So come show your love for Sabu and celebrate his life and share some memories and stuff and with people that you enjoy.
If you want to.
If you want to.
So it's not like we're trying to build a huge house or whatever, but we're, like Sabu said, the funerals are for the ones that are left behind, that are the survivors, so they can be around each other, and people that love the deceased can be around each other. And he said, the person that's deceased already knows you love him.
Absolutely. What a great thing to say, too. What a smart thing to say. So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But cool, guys. Congrats. And be sure, guys, if you haven't yet, sign up for Only Wrestlers up there. Go to onlywrestlers.com and register for your account up there.
July 10th, we're in New Orleans.
Louisiana Wildcat Sports.
Yeah.
I'm the first and only female graduate from Wildcat Sports.
Are you really? I didn't know that.
Yep.
July's pretty busy.
Yeah.
And July 2nd, I'm in, like I said, in Chicago at a baseball diamond baseball field show. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that though.
Yeah, fill me in.
Yeah.
RVD 422 if you want some RVD glass. So that Marco does a great job and his crew over there. So go to rvd420.com and get some exclusive stuff there.
July 12th, we're in Arlington, Texas too. I gotta tell Cassie that too.
Yay!
I don't know what that convention is. Oh, it's
Starcast. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Starcast. Yeah. Are you gonna be there?
I might try. Yeah, I'm going to make an effort to do that, I think. So I'm going to definitely there might be a way I can get there, I think. So I'm hoping.
Take a train.
Take a train to Arlington. Woo-wee. I'm going to go on horseback. Go down to Texas. Well, that's cool. I think you just broke news because I don't know if that announcement's been made yet. So awesome.
Yeah.
It just kind of came through.
Yeah.
I think just today got an official.
Oh, hell yeah. So, guys,
And
there you go.
wondering, it's like 100 and 100 here in Las Vegas.
Damn.
It's like 100 and 100. I was gonna say it's like 110, but
I won't be going outside until November.
Keep indoors.
just a random fact in case you're wondering. I love it. Yep. Cool.
Well, cool. So, guys, we'll see you next week here on One of a Kind with RVD. We'll probably record later on in the week. But, yes, congrats, Rob. Congrats, Katie. Very happy for you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dirt Sheet Dominator.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Damn fam.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks for joining
everybody.
us. Thanks for being here. And thank you for all the warm wishes and congratulations. We feel your love, and the babies do too.
Hell yeah. See you guys next time.